What's up, everybody? It is Monday night. Welcome to the Fantasy and Frames Waiver Wire Watch Party. Say that 3 times fast. Guys, I'm Stacy. She's Erika. She's Sharlene. And he is Colby. And we are here to give you the recap on your Sunday action. We are here to help you out with your waivers going into next week. We are also going to be hanging out watching the Monday Night Football game. We got a good one tonight. We got Detroit at Baltimore. It should be a barn burner, I guess. Where did that phrase even come from? Do you guys know what barn burner actually means? Anybody?
Nope.
No.
It's got to be like the farming times.
My husband would know this. Where is he when I need him?
Right. Somebody in the chat
just running from the barn. Yeah.
Of the phrase barn burner. I would appreciate that very much. Guys, how are our Sundays? Were there anything that kind of just really tilted us? Colby, you don't have to answer. I won't answer either. I'm going to abstain from this question. Yeah.
I mean,
take it though.
I was pretty happy with the Bears' performance yesterday. So excited about that. Cowboys defense looks, like trash.
I would be excited about their defense. Erika, was this the best game Matt Eberflus has ever coached for you guys?
Yes. Sadly.
Do you think there was a level of petty from Caleb Williams just wanting to really just rub it in his face? Because I do, and I'm here for that. I love a petty bitch.
100%. 100%. And Caleb seems like that kind of petty person too.
Right? I feel like there's a lot of that going around in the we got Aaron Rodgers is in his petty era right now. We got I honestly kind of feel like Indiana Jones is also in his petty era just a little bit too. So I enjoy it.
We got Angie in the chat tonight.
Our new Idaho resident, Angie.
Idahoan?
Idahoan?
Is that what it is? Idahoan?
Mm-hmm. She's in Idaho? No, I don't know. I don't know how you say that.
I did have a shirt back in the day that had a outline of the state of Idaho on it. And it said Idaho, no, Idaho.
Can we get that for Angie?
I
think we should get that for Angie. I gotta go find it.
We have a true answer here.
Yeah. Jim.
Here we go.
Our producer Jim helping us out.
So a barn burner, referring to a radical New York political faction known as the Barn Burners, who were named after a folk tale about a Dutch farmer who would burn down his own barn to rid it of a rat infestation.
I get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's me with spiders. I get that.
Yeah.
That's me with bees. I get it.
Snakes became a metaphor for individuals willing to destroy systems to address problems, and later by 1934 the term evolved to describe an exciting or thrilling event. I think this should be exciting and thrilling. It should be a heck of a lot better than last night's game. Last night's game was trash. That was
snooze fest.
Oh my gosh, right?
Disclosure, I did not get to watch most of that game. I was at I took my daughter to a Bay FC game, so we were watching women's soccer.
You probably had more fun.
It was actually a very good game.
Got Tootsie Pop in the chat. So yeah. Rachel joining us.
Thank you. Guys, we're going to be getting to all of your questions and answers and everything about waivers this week. Throw those on into the chat. We will get to them as they come in. We kind of want to know, like I said, what tilted you most? What was the most exciting thing, the best thing that you thought on Sunday? But I think we want to talk about some studs and duds, some good performances, some bad performances, right? Erika, what do you think?
Yeah. So we each kind of picked our own stud and dud of the week. So for my stud, I went with Hunter Henry. 2 touchdowns, in a game that no one was expecting him to have. He hasn't had a very good fantasy season so far. So definitely the studs, and he may be talked about a little bit later on as well. Yay, and then my dad, Malik Neighbors. Yeah. That speaks for itself. Very disappointing game. Did not watch the game because it was that disappointing of a game. So
you didn't miss much from Elite Neighbors. As I heard somebody refer to it, he had 2 for 20 yards and a dislocated elbow.
It was a very sad performance.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was difficult to pay attention. Like I found myself definitely doing other things, multitasking while that was going on in the background.
When Russell Wilson comes back down to earth.
My gosh. There were some great memes though for Cam Scadaboo today. I don't know if you guys caught any of those. Do you guys follow the NFL memes Instagram page?
Yes.
Yes.
Gosh, Colby, please go ahead, just immediate follow because it will bring you so much joy into your life. Like
they're amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's not for the easily offended. Let's just put it that way.
So who were some of your studs and duds, Colby?
All right. Stud Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns. As I'm looking at it here, led all quarterbacks through Sunday in fantasy points per dropback. So this is what we envisioned with Ben Johnson coming over. The weapons are there. One in particular I'll talk about a little bit later. And then my dud for the week is myself.
No.
I allowed myself to be hoodwinked by the Houston Texans and Nick Caley. And I think I'm over it. 3 games in already with Nick Caley. He won't get fired. I understand that's not going to happen. Not calling for his job. But we have a week 6 bye. We play Tennessee this week. We're going to get blown out by Baltimore in week 5. They keep saying we're close. I think this is where my frustration lies. And I'm really trying not to spiral, but I'm spiraling. And in the press conferences, they say we're close. We're close. The only thing that they're bleeping close to is the next team above them in points scored. They're 4 points away from the team ahead of them. The Houston Texans have scored the fewest amount of points in the league this season with CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, 2 rookies that they drafted on day 2 of the draft who don't even play, the most overpaid tight end in the league. This offensive line is atrocious. I thought Nick Caley could fix it. They're running the old school New England offense again. We are back to Houston being the little wannabe brother of the New England Patriots, except we're not good. And the defense is good, but it doesn't matter because the offense can't do anything. We lost to Jacksonville. I am my own dud because I allowed myself to buy into this. And I'm already struggling in week 3, my friends. And I don't know how else to say it. So I'm my own dud in week 3.
Colby, I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but I heard the most ridiculous stat earlier today from the fantasy footballers.
No.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Mariota in the last year has had top 10. Has been a top 10 QB 3 times. Yeah. He has started 1 game. CJ Stroud has 2 top 10 appearances.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That is bad.
Yeah.
That is a wild stat.
He's got happy feet. I love CJ Stroud. I don't believe he's the blame for everything. I do think he is at fault for some things as the ball placement has not been good. He's got happy feet. He runs back away from pressure like he's Lamar Jackson, but he's quite honestly the farthest thing from it. Like he's not athletic to do that. So he should step up. Good things happen when he does that. He's got happy feet. The offensive line is ruining him. His body language is atrocious on the sidelines. It is. Houston is down bad right now. I'm not going to do the old cliche that everyone says with Houston. We have a you know what. I'm not going to say that because that's overused, and I'm not going to do that. But it's not good. The only positive from this week is that Woody Marks played more than he has, and Dare Ogunbowale didn't see the field. That's the main positive I can come away this week. But I keep coming back to this. I think Houston scored 4 touchdowns on the year. I don't even know. It's been 3 weeks. I have no clue. Heard they've been in the red zone 4 times. One of their touchdowns was a broken coverage by Jacksonville. The other one, Tampa Bay let them walk into the end zone because they needed the ball back so they could go score. They have, that I can remember, they have 1 legitimate touchdown on the year. And it was the one that we had last Monday night against the Bucs with Stroud to Collins. So
yeah. So as Gator says here, Houston has scored a total of 38 points all year, and 9 teams have scored more than that in 1 game.
Yeah, it's bad, but don't worry. Those in the press conferences, we're close. We're right there. Every game is close. Yeah, every game is close because you have a great defense, but the games aren't close. Like I've already come to terms that, well, my wife's not here, so she'll hear this when she listens to this, but like the mortgage payment's coming out and it's Ravens minus 19.5 in week 5. There is no chance Houston can keep up with them at all. Like that game is going to be the death of me, but the local beer distributor will stay in business for another month.
Okay, so you're spiraling about Houston. I got to talk just a tiny second about my Oklahoma State Cowboys, who lost to Tulsa for the first time since 1951 this weekend, and who are opening Big 12 play next week against Baylor as a 21-point underdog at home. We are down bad as well. So I know the feeling of rooting for your favorite team and having them just kick you in the ass every single week.
Yep.
I'm a Braves fan, and if you pay any attention to baseball, that should tell you all you need to know for this season.
But at least they've had injuries. You can at least explain part of it away. Houston's relatively healthy.
That's fair.
They just suck.
Yeah. I mean, thank God for Nico's touchdown, or else I mean, that's what saved his week this week.
I mean, he's the only one that you can start with confidence. Like, they finally got Christian Kirk back, and then they barely give him the ball, and then CJ Stroud overthrows him. They don't play the rookies. It's literally Nico Collins is the only one that you can start and feel good about. And feel good is like italicized and in air quotes, and like not bolded, like reverse bolded, whatever that is.
I don't know what that's like the thin font.
Yeah. It's like if you go for the iPhone people out there, you can hold on the send button. You can like send with an effect. There's like slam and all the fun ones. The Android people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but that's too bad. They'll get up with it. It's like just a regular text message. That's what it is. Just regular, no effect, no little lasers with the pew pews and no fun stuff. Just a boring text, not even punctuation. No punctuation, like a run-on sentence. Ugh, disgusting.
I'm glad I timestamped that, so that later we can do Colby's rant for against Houston.
Yeah, this is a week 3, so we're having a great time here.
Oh,
yeah, real great time.
Woo!
Okay, Sharlene, who do you got for studs and duds this week?
So I kind of went like a twofer for my studs, because that Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown connection is finally back. I need it to stay that way now. Like, hallelujah, it exists.
I think we all need it to stay.
Yeah. I needed to see it. I definitely needed to see it. Everybody says, don't panic. It's going to be fine. And on the outside, I'm like, yeah, sure. Nobody's panicking. Like, we'll get there. It's going to be fine. It's Hurts and AJ Brown. We'll be fine. And on the inside, I'm just like, oh my God.
I think we all are. I mean, that connection has not been there for 2 weeks and everyone was panicking. They're like, do I sit AJ Brown this week? Like, those were legit questions this week.
That was a legitimate question. Like, do you sit the pass catchers for Philly, right? I mean, they're not a passing off, they're running off, run first. I mean, I feel like that was a legitimate question.
Run first, run only.
Right. I mean, where you drafted him, you can't probably afford to sit him, but I think it was if you were questioning it, I think that's a legitimate question. That's not crazy.
I know. And those are the hardest ones. Those are the hardest ones because, like you said, because of where you drafted them, you almost can't. Like, they have to be in your starting lineup. You have to trust that they're going to come around, as much as the rest of you is just like, no, this is a terrible idea.
Right.
So yeah, so super, super happy that they have righted the ship. All is well,
hopefully,
and it needs to continue that way.
And who you got for your dud?
Ashton
Genty. I have concerns. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, he got 63 yards this week. And that's not even the concerning part. The concerning part is he had 0 targets, 0 receptions. And I mean, you want to talk about where you're drafting somebody. I mean, yes, he's a rookie and yes, he's going to be fine, I'm sure. But this is not the same thing. He did not get targeted at all. And if he's giving up targets to Zamir White, I mean, that's sound the alarm bells.
And they're throwing the ball.
Yeah. I was going to say alarm bells. Detroit is taking it right down the field, which is kind of unexpected, at least from what I thought was going to happen in this game. like JMO has made some fantastic catches over here. If you guys are watching the game,
I like the uniform combo. I like the black and white.
It's nice. It's very aesthetically pleasing. These two.
Okay. And Stacey, who do you got for studs and duds on your list?
All right, studs. I got Jordan Mason. My poor sweet Aaron Jones over on the IR, right? With that injury. Jordan Mason, RB2 on the week, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looks like an absolute maniac out there. Then we got my dud for the week is I got 2 for you. I got a little BOGO. Dude, the Falcons. How do you get blanked by the Panthers? How do you get blanked by the Panthers? How does that happen? We need Keith's thoughts on the Falcons in that game. I'm sure they weren't pleasant.
Do you? Do we?
I would love it. I would love to listen. Anytime I get a good Keith rant, I would love one. So I'm sure he had some thoughts on that game. Michael Penix has just not looked very good the last couple of weeks. So I think they're a little concerned for that. Hopefully nobody's in a situation where you're starting him. And if you are, don't worry. We've got some options for you. Maybe if that's your situation, maybe we can help you out. Who's worse, Atlanta or Houston? I don't want to answer that for Colby's sake right now.
Well, Atlanta screwed it this week because all you had to do is run the ball against Carolina. And I looked at one point, they had like 11 rushing attempts to 20 attempts for Michael Penix, which was not the recipe for success. But then again, Atlanta scored 10 points in a game this season. Houston barely gets there. So I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't watch that game. I would watch that game. I would spite watch that game. I believe you called it a petty bitch earlier. That was some new term that I heard. That would be me in that game. I'd be petty and I'd watch it, but I wouldn't enjoy it and I would hate watch it. So I've learned so much. I've learned so much. Look at me.
I can't.
You are welcome.
This season is going to be so fantastic, guys. So we are all just. This is our first show, the 4 of us together. We have a separate group chat, so we are all kind of like getting to know one another, throughout the week and everything. And I'm very excited for where this show is going to take us. I can't wait.
Time out. Did you see the Amon Ra catch and his booty shake just now?
I saw the booty jiggle. Yeah.
I missed it. I missed the booty shake.
He did.
It will be.
He did a little wiggle. I'm surprised he didn't get fired. Get in there, Gibbs.
We need Colby to stand up and show what the booty shake was.
I did not see it happen.
Darn.
Admittedly, I wasn't looking, but
likely
I
story.
I did not see it.
Detroit here. 2nd and goal. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I want them to win. I really do. There we go. We got a Gibbs touchdown.
So you're behind again?
No.
Just like last week?
No, I'm behind.
I'm behind too.
I'm very behind.
Oh, he just now got in.
Oh.
Yeah,
all right, I'll pause.
I'm still waiting.
There
it is.
Gibbs touchdown. I just want this to
be in the future.
The last time they played them, it was in 2023, I think. And Jared Goff has just historically not done well against the Ravens in Baltimore. And his home road splits are such a real thing. Like I don't know, even as a Packer fan, I just can't help but love the Lions and I want them to do well. I think it's just fun when they are. And I really enjoy, I don't know if you guys catch these on Twitter on Tuesdays or Mondays or Tuesdays, but Dan Campbell, usually they will post his like locker room, like victory speech. And like, I would run through a wall for that man. And I just like love seeing those so I want them to win. I need those my next day, like after football. My other one was Marvin Harrison Jr., man. 7.1 points over the last 2 weeks. That's not good. Not good, guys. Obviously you didn't draft him as high as you did his rookie season, so at least there's that. But even now, he's one of those too that I think. Are you starting him every week? I think that's a legitimate question. I don't think that you can feel confident starting him every week. I think there's still a lot of weird chemistry stuff going on with him and Kyler. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with him. He's obviously super talented, but they just won't get it together. So
I actually sat him in a league and I started Quentin Johnston over him.
I have done that as well. I've started QJ over. Yep. Yeah, that's gross.
It's bad when you're starting like a waiver wire pick. Yeah, waiver wire pick over one of your starters. Like
confidently. You are like, yep, let's get him out of the lineup. No question about it.
This
Throw
is
him
like
there.
the mini panic attack I'm talking about when you go to sit those players, though.
Yeah.
You're like, am I really doing this?
No panic attack with Marvin. Sorry, Marvo.
Yeah, no.
I know another sit for me this week was T. Higgins because I just that Bengals offense. That's also a struggle. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a concern, was how that was all gonna pan out, and it did not at all.
Not for the Bengals.
No, not for the Bengals.
Not for the Bengals.
Vikings look good.
If you had the Vikings defense, kudos to you.
Yeah,
because they put up 30-something points.
Man, defenses and special teams this weekend. That was fun. All the blocked field goals.
How many blocked field goals were there?
5.
Yeah, I was nuts.
That's insane. I was like, wait, again?
And some of them went on to win the game just because of that blocked field goal, which was awesome.
Yeah, and then it was the Rams-Eagles game where it was back-to-back, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just unbelievable.
I was at a friend's house watching the Bucks-Jets game, and obviously I'm in Tampa. They're all Bucks fans, and there's this little kid there, and he's super into football and everything. And so he sees this hey, the Jets only need a touchdown to tie, and we're all like, shut up, stop talking. And then that's when they ran it back for the touchdown. We're like, oh my god,
that was a good ending too.
Well, and it's bad because I don't normally go to watch parties and stuff on Sundays just because I can't. I'm watching this, we're getting ready for the show. I just got so many things going on, I can't really enjoy it around friends, But I went and I had a great time. But obviously the Packers, just crapped the bed and lost against the Browns, and so I'm around other people and I can't behave like I normally would behave if I was at home, and just being so upset about that. So that was fun. And then my friend's mom was there too, so I definitely couldn't just let the language fly, but it's why I don't go out and watch games.
And I have kids at home, so I still even at home have to
you gotta censor yourself.
It in.
Yeah, just control.
Which I guess technically I don't have to, because the kids are in the car with me when I drive, and I have absolutely no filter when I'm driving. So somehow they've understood we don't use the word mommy uses in the car.
Yeah,
we gotta mark it on the street somewhere. Mark Andrews caught something.
What?
He's alive?
He is.
You know why? He's going to have a breakout because I benched him in the fishbowl. So he's going to have an absolute stellar game tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they've heard all the talk. So they're like, okay, we got to get him involved. He's had 3 receptions on the season.
Yeah.
3.
We had some pretty, did you guys feel like we were just getting constant updates about injuries today?
Yeah.
Every time I looked at my phone, there was somebody else getting hurt. And people that I didn't even know about. Should we just raise a glass to James Conner and Najee Harris?
Oh God.
James Conner makes me sad. He's probably one of my favorite players ever since college.
Yeah.
So sad.
That's a bummer.
Hate it for him.
Don't worry, we'll talk about Trey Benson. Jawan Jennings didn't practice the entire week. We got Charbonnet. We got a Colson Loveland hip injury. Diami Brown, you probably weren't starting him, but AC joint sprain. My poor sweet Mike Evans, hammy out several weeks. Bucks have a bye in week 9. Hopefully he's back before then. Chris Godwin almost started yesterday. I don't know how much higher you can get on Emeka Egbuka, but to the moon.
Did you see his one-handed catch over on the sideline?
I saw all of it, and I was losing my mind. I almost left that party to just go buy a creamsicle Emeka jersey. And that's
you should at this point.
Out of the realm of possibility.
I sat him in a couple weeks.
Oh, girl, why? What happened?
And this was a last-minute thing because everything coming out of Bucks camp was he's going to be on a snap count, and I went, oh, okay, so. Maybe I won't start him this week. And it was what snap count?
No snap count.
Yeah, so we'll do that again. Will
I
not
actually
be doing that
I
again.
started QJ over him, and they ended up having the same fantasy points, so that was kind of a wash.
So that worked out. Yeah, that
it
did
worked
not.
out.
That did not
Emeka's in
work
my
out.
lineup from now on until he's literally declared out. Like he's in my lineup. Like I'm not taking him out.
Okay, see, that's how I was about Jawan Johnson because, the past 2 weeks, he has not really practiced, not done anything. And then he's come out and been a monster for fantasy on actual game day. And I was like, what? Okay. And then, yeah, I had to pivot real quick on Sunday morning when they actually declared him out.
Yeah. You mean Jawan Jennings?
Oh, Jawan Johnson.
Can't tell how many times I've said that too. And yeah, that's, I need them to have different names, like different names, please. CeeDee Lamb also last of the big injuries, unless there's somebody else that I'm missing that got added a little bit later. High ankle sprain, could be out about 3 to 4 weeks. Again, Pickens to the moon. We've got some other Dallas guys that we can talk about a little bit later that may be in line for some increased production. Charlene, how's this game going?
Did you see his comments before that news came out where he was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm totally going to play next week.
No.
I was like, are you?
Yeah.
Like,
and then the news came out that it was a high ankle sprain. And I'm like, nope, you sure aren't.
Yep.
He needs to get that good stuff that they give Patrick Mahomes when he has a high ankle sprain, from a couple of years ago in the playoffs. And then he's out there running around like nothing's going on. Whatever treatment they're giving him.
Right.
Except when he made a bad pass in that game and then he would start limping a little bit.
Like just, oh no.
Now it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Now it hurts.
Speaking of which, what's up with Mac Jones?
I saw that come in late too. I'm not sure what's going on there. What's the latest?
He won that game with half a leg. Like I don't know what happened there. Oh, that whole team is just it's making me cry.
And Bosa today out.
Bosa, yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
done.
Yep. Yeah,
disappointing
for injuries. I think KJ in the chat is correct on that. Jake Ferguson, tight end 1 season incoming with CD out.
Yep.
I definitely agree with that. Charlene, how's our game going? How's Monday Night Football going? You want to give us a little update?
So I'm way behind you guys. So the Ravens just scored.
Who scored? Because I was looking at the other. I have Henry, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
So the Ravens went out and did Ravensy things, but I'm surprised that the game is tied, to be totally honest. I didn't think that the Lions were going to come out and play this well so far. We'll see. But they came out guns blazing, so should be a good game.
Looking like a real barn burner out there.
Looking like a real barn burner.
I'm happy Henry's going to have more fantasy points than last week with his 1.3 fantasy
already
points.
We're all set. We're good now.
Perfect. I'm good.
It's okay. Nobody was sitting him anyway.
No. For sure. Should we talk about some waiver wire people? I guess we should, right? Since we're the waiver wire watch party. I guess we should do that.
Yeah, we got to help some fantasy lineups out there. I know we'll start with quarterbacks here. I know I have a couple of teams where I had Mariota get me through this week, and I'm right back to the drawing board again at quarterbacks. It seems like Jaden Daniels will be back. So we actually each kind of threw some names in here in the waiver wire in our little show sheet that we have here to talk about quarterbacks. So Stacy, why don't you tell us about the first quarterback that you are intrigued by here off waivers?
I got Matt Stafford for us, 31.5% rostered. Look, there's so many injuries out there to quarterbacks right now. And if he's available, he probably is available in your league. He has 5 touchdowns so far. He's throwing for at least 30 times per game. I think first week it was 29, but I mean, we're just rounding up here. It's 30 times, right? This week he was just under 200 yards, so not super great, but that was against Philly. Philly is keeping teams the first part of the year here under 200 yards passing so far, so that wasn't super surprising. He's got elite talent to support him to throw to as long as he's healthy. I mean, I think he's a pretty solid replacement for any of your guys there. He's super consistent. And like I said, the talent around him, like he's going to have opportunities to keep throwing the ball. Kyren Williams is there as well. I just think this is going to be a team that is doing very well. We always want to have players that are on good offenses. So Matt Stafford is an easy add for me.
And he was like, no one was adding him during draft season because of that back injury. So
Right.
everyone's like, okay, how long is he going to last? Is he going to be good? And he's been great so far.
Yep. He's been good too. And there's a good receivers. All that we need now, I hate to say it, but we need Devontae Adams to catch the ball a little bit.
Right.
Quite a few balls that he would have caught in the past, I would say. So we need to see him catching it a little bit there. I'm not sure who added Indiana Jones to the sheet, but he is on there again. I mean, at this point, how do you not? Although I will say he did make the team have to punt for the first time.
Oh my God, finally.
And
I can't believe it finally happened.
It finally happened. So let me tell you why. So when I was doing my research and everything for this, it came up that in ESPN leagues, he's only rostered at like 4.6%, which is crazy. And that was from like Fantasy Pros when I was looking that up. So this was specifically to ESPN people that are playing in an ESPN league. You know, he may be available there. Obviously, if you're on Sleeper, Yahoo, any of those other sites, he's not available. Don't even bother. But if you are, you know, it's worth it. If those are accurate numbers at this point, then it's worth a check. You know, just go out there, see if he's available for ESPN. So I doubt that he is, but just like I said, I saw that number intrigued me. So I just threw him on there just as kind of like a little PSA for our ESPN friends.
I don't know if it was, I think it might have been Yahoo, but I saw somewhere that he was only rostered in 30% of leagues.
It's too low.
And yeah, I mean, how at this point? Listen, Danny Dimes is dead. Go and get Indiana Jones.
Right. That's right.
It doesn't even look like the same quarterback from a year ago.
No.
It's crazy how just a change of scenery.
Petty does things to you.
Petty Jones.
Yeah.
And Shane Steichen. Yeah. Pettiness and Shane Steichen. That's the cure. That's the cure to any ailing quarterback in the NFL. Erika, who's a quarterback you got your eye on?
So I'm going with Geno Smith. He's 24% rostered over on Sleeper. Not a sexy name. You know, the Raiders are not doing that well so far this year. But and Geno honestly doesn't have a great touchdown to interception ratio. He's 4-4 right now, but he's throwing a lot. So right now he has the second most overall passing yards with 831 and has 106 total passing attempts, which is 8th overall among all quarterbacks. You know, they're playing Chicago this week. They looked great against Dallas, but they're also allowing almost 250 passing yards per game to opposing quarterbacks. So this could be a really fun, sneaky matchup offensive-wise. And yeah, Geno Smith is going to be available in most of your leagues.
Yep. I certainly like that. And I'll throw a deep league dart out there. No pun intended. Brian Dable wants to make a switch at quarterback so bad. Like, it is so clear every single week. It's like 5 minutes after the game ends. The quarterback is open. The competition, like the door is open for a potential change. There is nothing more that he wants to start Jackson Dart. I think Brian Dable is completely over the Russell Wilson experiment. So if you really need quarterback help, but you can use maybe a Stafford, Indiana Jones, or Geno Smith for a couple of weeks and you want some upside later, take a look at Jackson Dart. I think his time is coming soon. I know the Giants have a pretty late bye this year, but at some point they have to get a look at the kid. They can't trot out Russell Wilson too terribly long once the season is over, which will probably be next week for them. So take a look there at Jackson Dart. So of these quarterbacks here, obviously Dart's kind of a little bit of a long-term, but let's say you could pick up Stafford, Jones, and or Smith, any of those three, or of these three. Let me say it this way. Let's say 5 weeks from now, which one of these quarterbacks do you think is still on your roster? Stacy, we'll go to you first between Stafford, Smith, and Indiana Jones.
I mean, Indiana Jones, I think, is going to be the starter for the entire season. I don't think Anthony Richardson ever gets that job back. So I think I'm going with him right now. He's quarterback 3 right now in fantasy, I think. I would go with him. I think likely, I doubt that he's available in leagues. Like I said, that was just really more for ESPN leagues. So I'm probably going to go with Stafford then. But it's definitely one of those two first before I would go, I think, to Geno. Jackson Dart's just so fun, though. Like I am very much looking forward to the Jackson Dart time once that gets started in New York.
Sharlene?
I'm with Stacy. It's 100% Daniel Jones. Like there's no question about it. But between Stafford and Geno, I mean, I don't know. with Gino, I mean, I think that he's going to have to throw the ball a lot. I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot. And because of that, I mean, he got me. I mean, it's the points are wild in this league, but he got me 58 points. So, and that's not, I don't think that's going to be a fluke. I don't think Dart's going to start this week. Maybe next week. I don't think this week.
They're at home to the Chargers this week. Let me take a look and see what the rest of their schedule looks like.
I just saw Dable on the sideline after that last pass that Russ threw, and he was just shaking his head. Like, he was disgusted at what was happening on this team. And so he's going to want to change it ASAP.
Yeah. I feel like he gives him one more week. That's my 2 cents. I feel like we got one more week, and then he can pack his bags, and I'm gonna sit here and be like, yeah, we all told you so.
So week 5,
all the Seattle fans and all the Broncos fans and all the Steelers fans, we all told you so.
They go to New Orleans to play the Saints in week 5. Jackson Dart, Ole Miss. Am I right? Am I remembering that right?
Only thing with that is they have a short week right there with the Eagles on Thursday night, and then they get the 10-day break.
Okay,
so they
maybe
could give him that. But then, I mean, here's the thing, though. If they do that and start in week 7, his first couple of starts are at Denver, at Philly, home with the Niners. At Chicago, home of Green Bay.
Let's not set him up for failure.
Ooh.
That's a really rough. That's a really rough run.
I mean, Cam Ward had to go to Denver and play the Broncos his first NFL start. So
true. Except Tennessee had to start him. New York doesn't have to start Dart yet.
Exactly.
Yet. That is the
They could go Winston.
Yeah, come on. Free Jameis.
Or they could trade Winston to a team with multiple weapons, and then everybody can be happy.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
A team with stripes and,
Oh my God. Could you imagine T and Chase to the moon? That would be so fun. We're not that lucky though, right? We're not that lucky to get Jameis to the Bengals. That wouldn't happen.
No, we are not that lucky.
Man, we'd get Yoshivas, we'd get all the tight ends, we'd get everyone,
everybody
involved on that team.
That'd be amazing.
So much fun.
Man, things that just won't happen, unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys, we got some running backs here. We got a few on the board for you. If you're watching online, we got the screen over here. We got Benson, Jeremy McNichols, Ollie Gordon. Erika, talk to me about Ollie. And also, please mention, you know what you have to mention here. So go ahead.
Like, you guys.
Before you start, I'm going to jump out. I got to go play solo mom and go pick up some kids.
Charlene's got a single mom it.
I do. I will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Oh yeah,
I do not like that.
I don't know.
Too close. Like,
yeah, it's very close.
I gotta lean back.
That was aggressive. That was an aggressive.
It really was. Not a fan, but I don't know how to fix that one.
There's nothing else to do. We just gotta
okay, well that's.
We have to embrace it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys,
come on.
You knew I was going to talk about Ollie. I mean, you had to have known that
for sure.
He was going to be my guy. And this is what I said. You know how much I love Ollie, and this week finally paid off a little bit. He did get the first touchdown of the game, but he is easily the RB2 on this team. Easily, like no competition for anyone else. So he saw just 25% of snaps, but he made a lot of it. In the 3 games that he's got limited work and limited snaps, he's averaging 4.17 yards per carry. And to me, it's just a vibe test. It's the vibes, the eye test. He looks like a power back out there. He's a bigger guy. He will just run straight through the tackles. He's not a scattaboo, but, he's not that aggressive, but, he is going to run right through everyone.
Did you guys see Chuck Bass's tweet on Thursday night about Ollie Gordon?
Yes.
Colby, did you see this?
Mm-mm.
So Chuck, and if you shout out to Chuck, he's a friend of the show, posted this great tweet that was like, yeah, if Ollie Gordon gets touchdown, he's gonna text his ex and tell her that he still loves her.
Wasn't she getting married too?
She's getting married over the weekend, and that thing went viral. I mean, that thing went crazy viral, and DraftKings was reposting it. I hope Ollie Gordon saw that, because I think that would just if that was about me, it would bring me so much joy. It was just hilarious that something like that went on. So if you want a good laugh, go check out that tweet. Well, do you think that's probably the most viral Ollie Gordon tweet that's ever existed? Because I think it has to be.
So far,
probably right now.
So far.
Yes.
Right now. But
Thank you.
Not forever.
That's right. Not forever. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. That was a really good time Thursday night checking in on Twitter while all that was going on. I got 2 names for you. Also, I threw Trey Benson in here. He's slightly over 50%. I know we like to keep it under 50% here for waivers. And I saw as high as 59, but I still thought, given his situation, that was enough for me to put him on here, us talk about him. I think we have to talk about him this week with the injury to James Conner. It's worth checking out in your leagues if he's there with it only, between 50 and 59%. Go look it up. He's probably not, but you never know. Only 8 points over the last 2 games. I get it, but he's the guy now. And it's not like Amari DiMercato, as I would like to say last year, in a horrible Italian accent, is coming over to get the starting job. He's not. He is in line for bell cow work. I think, you can take the mortgage out on him. Go get him. However much you have to spend in fab. He's going to be my priority waiver ad this week, 100%. So whatever you have to spend to get him, and you're going to have to spend a lot if you're not in a priority waiver system, put the farm on it, put whatever you have, because this guy is going to be the one there producing in that bell cow role. And there's so few bell cows in fantasy these days. Trey Benson, everybody.
Agreed.
Do it. Colby, you got Woody Marks on here.
Yeah, like I said, Dare Ogunbowale didn't touch the field in week 3. Snap shares up every single week for Woody Marks. I was actually just behind Nick Chubb in week 3, but I was digging through some numbers a little bit here. And if you go over weeks 2 and 3, amongst running backs, there's 5 running backs with a yards per route run of 2 or higher. Of running backs that have run at least 22 routes. I had to put it at a weird number to prove my point here. 22 routes run between week 2 and 3. 5 running backs, 2 yards per route run or higher. Devon Achane, Christian McCaffrey, Woody Marks, Jalen Warren, and Ramondre Stevenson. Of those 5 running backs, all of them have a target share in the double digits. To be fair, 13% or higher, and Woody Marks is at 4.8%. Imagine if the Houston offensive coordinator realized what was in front of him and he got Woody Marks the ball out of the backfield. We are getting solid PPR back usage out of Woody Marks. Standard leagues probably can't go there. I totally get it. But the numbers here are off the charts for Woody Marks. He's only getting 1.5 targets per game over the last 2, but I think that will increase with time. They'll find ways to get him the ball, or perhaps it's just the optimist in me. But the numbers are really good for Woody Marks. So if he's available, I would throw a couple bucks on him in Fab this week.
And like the eye test, he just looks so good every time they get him the ball. Every time I see him play, I'm like,
well,
he just looks explosive. Like, he looks good,
yes, but it's like if you have like a Honda Civic next to like a broken down piece of trash. Like, Nick Chubb's done. Like, there's nothing left with him. It's like, I mean, yeah, Woody Marks does look good. He does look like he's got a little bit of juice, but then I wonder, I'm like, am I just like not seeing it correctly because I'm comparing him to a career special teamer / backup kicker in Dare Ogunbowale, the corpse of Nick Chubb, and whomever the 4th running back is that I can't remember, British Brooks, who's just a bruiser. Like,
I was going to ask you about British Brooks. I saw his name pop up before the game last week, and I was like, I need to ask Colby about this guy.
Yeah. Awesome bruiser, super good at running it for like 1 or 2 yards right in between the tackles. But that's the Nick Caley running attack. 1 to 2 yards the middle and then just not using Woody Marks. But anyway, a couple bucks on Woody Marks. He's worth it, I think, eventually. And honestly, at this point, Houston can be playing from behind, so it should only benefit him with game script.
Love it. My last one, this is a bit of a deep league dart throw, and really this is going to kind of combine two players really for us. But the one that I want to talk about the most is Jeremy McNichols, 1.4% rostered. Sleeper, he's up to 12% rostered. Either way, he's going to be available. He did catch the touchdown, had 78 yards on the ground. Chris Rodriguez was actually the one who saw the majority of the carries at 11 out of that backfield, though, between McNichols, our boy Bill, and Chris Rodriguez. You could probably go and grab Chris Rodriguez as well. I mean, I think that this is going to be a running back by committee. That's really not a surprise now that Eckler is out, Brian Robinson is gone. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to predict who's going to pop off each week. But I think, like I said, this is for a deep league is what I'm talking about here. This isn't somebody that you're likely going to be relying on as a starter unless you're in a pretty rough situation. But Washington does have the second most rushing yards per game so far this season at 157.3. So they are running the ball. So if you get one of these guys, they are at least going to produce something for you. It's probably just going to be tough to decide who's going to get in the end zone each week, which is really probably going to make them the more fantasy relevant guy. But McNichols, Chris Rodriguez, those guys are definitely available. You can't get Bill anymore, right? So the next two, options, you've got these two. Gator wants to know if he's earned the right to change his name to Bill. Gator, I don't know if you saw him roll up to the game in his Sean Taylor jersey with this big old chain on that spelled out Bill in more diamonds than I've ever seen in my life. But I think if you roll up looking like that, then I think you get to call yourself whatever you want at that point.
But yeah, I think he's kind of been a disappointment. Everyone thinking he was going to get that automatic starting job, but not happening now.
And I don't know if that was really, how we all kind of get rookie brain rot, right? In August, everybody's so excited about the new shiny toys. I don't, is it really his fault that he's steaming up the boards? I don't, I'm guilty too. Right. I took him in the 8th round in several leagues. And that's just kind of what happens with a lot of these rookies, right? They don't always start right away. I think we're seeing that more and more this year, especially Amari Hampton had an outstanding week, right? Mm-hmm. But the rest of these guys have been relatively disappointing when I'm talking about just the rookie running backs and even the ones you wouldn't necessarily suspect, like an Ashton Genty, but it hasn't really produced fantasy wise for where you drafted them, most likely, right?
Yeah, Gianti and both Travion Henderson have both been disappointing for fantasy, but we do have to remember this is game 3. Yeah. And most of these guys didn't even play in the preseason. So they should have, in my opinion. I'm of the opinion that rookies especially need to play in the preseason because they don't know, what the NFL field even looks like. But you just got to give it time. And I know, as fantasy managers, we're all impatient and we want the shiny new thing to be the guy right off the bat. And that doesn't always happen.
No. How much of what percentage of your fab would you guys be willing to spend on Trey Benson?
%80.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's right. Save a little because you're going to need a little bit, right? Don't do all of it, but because it's going to take that. I guarantee he's going to go for a lot of money.
He should.
This week. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those where it's warranted.
He's like the Puka Nacua 2 years ago. Waiver had that. So many people missed out on because you didn't want to spend all that fab.
Yep.
And then you regretted it.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Just watching the game a little bit.
We got some receivers. We got a few. We got a few interesting little names on our receiver chart tonight.
Ooh. Sorry, over here watching the game. A couple of big catches from Laporta tonight.
Of course, there were big catches from Laporta.
So it's kind of nice to see him getting involved, though. He's kind of been quiet these past 2 weeks. So
they need him. Baltimore's been soft against the tight end too through the first couple of weeks, so would like to see him
I'm so behind. I just saw a great catch from Laporta. I don't know if that's the one you were referencing.
Probably, yeah. Or it could have been a second catch. Who knows?
I was hoping that it would be a second catch. It's probably behind, but
it's not.
It's
You're being a little greedy.
Yeah. He's wide open. Like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing, Baltimore?
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm just questioning their defensive motivations here. Like, what are we like? Come on,
you should be questioning the Packers' defensive motivations.
Listen.
At the end of that game, man.
It wasn't necessarily their defense. It was our offense. Okay, our offense really let us down.
How many points did you score?
10? I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. Hold on. I've already repressed that, Colby. So yeah, 10 whole points. Jordan Love, 183 with 1 touchdown. But Matthew Gold, you took me down this road, rabbit hole, right, Erika, as I like to say on Between Us Covers. So now you're stuck with me. Matthew Golden did look good, right? 4 for 52. Not a great offensive day for the Packers, but I think that is going to be the silver lining I take out of that game is that I think Matthew Golden is going to be moving into that Jaden Reed number 1 option there for Jordan Love. And can I just say Tucker MFing Craft? All right. I know he didn't have a great game here, but anybody who is reportedly in practice doing a crotch chop, handshake, whatever that might look like, I'm going to need someone to send me what that actually looks like. You're immediately going in my starting lineup. 100%. No questions asked. That is all the analysis I need. You're out in practice. You're doing that. Starting lineup. Put you in immediately. And can we all just agree that he is going to take over that George Kittle role, right? Of like our most fun, like enjoyable tight end to watch.
Agreed on that.
He's a good time.
Yeah, he's a good time. All right. I digress. Wide receivers, damn it. Let's talk about
Okay. So who do you got, Colby?
Yeah, Luther Burden. I know he had the big play on the trick play, and still like a lot of stuff under the hood isn't great. Like even so, his season high, just 28.1% snap share in week 3. It's not great. They love Olamide Zaccheaus for whatever reason. They love him and won't quit him. At some point, I do believe talent wins out, and Burden's going to have to be out there. And we saw the big plays are on display. And on that long ball too, nice hands catch right on the sidelines too. That was pretty impressive. And they forced the ball into his hands a little bit. Simply too talented. So I would honestly, you're probably not going to start him for another couple weeks. I would try to get out in front of it, try to get him for a couple bucks now before he's $15-20 in a couple weeks because he pops off, or God forbid an injury happens. I'm not rooting for that by any means, but if one injury happens to a Chicago wide receiver, Burden will headline every waiver wire article and be the cover of every single waiver wire article that's written. So I'd try to get out in front of it.
Agreed. Tootsie Pop here did say, hello, Roma Dunze. He's having a fantastic season so far.
He just, he looks amazing. He's definitely wide receiver 2 on the season, wide receiver 1 in Chicago. I was in a group chat with our producer Jim and our friend Sean Green. Yesterday we have a team together, and we were discussing before we heard that Juwan Jennings was going to be out. Are we starting DJ Moore? Or are we starting Juwan Jennings? And I was anti-start DJ Moore. It didn't matter, obviously, because Jennings didn't play, so we had to start him. And I sent them a message at halftime, and I said, I don't want to hear another argument about DJ Moore. I said, he better go in the second half. He better go 100 and a score, or we're going to start like a ham sandwich over him. Okay. Like that's what's happening. And then I looked at, all right, obviously he gets a touchdown, right? It was like 4 for 20 and a touchdown. No, I'm still starting a ham sandwich after that. Over DJ Moore.
Yeah. So we were watching the game because we're both Chicago Bear fans, and we were like, okay, Zaccheaus gets a touchdown, and then, or who had it first? Odunze had it first, and then Zaccheaus got one. We were like, okay, DJ Moore has to get his. Like, he has barely been targeted in this first half. And so I was super excited to see all 3 wide receivers get their touchdowns yesterday. That was fun. Who are your wide receiver pickups for the week, Stacy?
So also this was another little PSA for my ESPN league members, managers. Quentin Johnson, for some reason, was showing up as a really, really low ad in ESPN only leagues. I'm not talking about Sleeper, not talking about Yahoo. So if you're on ESPN, it might just be worth going to check and see if he's there. Obviously, if he's there, you're going to go get Quentin Johnston. He's probably not. But again, it was just something when I was doing research for this, he kept coming up as a really low number. And when I dug in to figure out more why, it was because he was so lowly rostered in ESPN leagues. So go check that out. He by no means do I think that he is available elsewhere, because he's not. You absolutely got him in like week 1, week 2. He gone. Okay.
Or like me, you drafted him.
Or you smartly drafted him, either way, you have him now. He's in your starting lineups. Who I am specifically interested in is Cavante Turpin. In week 2, we had 15.3 points. Week 3, 8.8, a little bit of a downgrade there. But the good news is, right, that he is in line to see an uptick in those targets now with CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be missing a few games. Bad news is that they do play Green Bay next week. I think Green Bay is going to be, their defense is their defense, right? So, the first few weeks of the season, opposing wide receivers have been scoring, very, very low points there. So you just kind of keep that in mind. And I just feel like that's going to be such a Micah Parsons revenge game. I'm sorry in advance to Dallas. I am going to go ahead and advance shit talk. Hopefully that doesn't come back to jinx me.
Is that in Dallas or Green Bay?
Is that, you know what? Hang on. I don't know why I don't know this off the top of my head. It's the Sunday night game though. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it's the Sunday night game. It's in Dallas.
Ooh. Even more fun.
Yeah, that's going to be
a dome game.
A dome game. We do love a dome game here. Yeah, so I'm big on Cavante Turpin. He is definitely going to be available in the majority of your leagues. And he's always a threat too, with kickoffs there. Yeah, Cavante
especially
Turpin.
He's fun. He's fun in those random leagues that give you kickoff return points every now and then. I'm in a couple of those, and I'm always make sure that I draft him.
Yeah, go grab you a little special teams guy. He'll get you some points there. But I do think that they are using him a lot more. Tolbert is there as well, but I just kind of felt like, in looking at the numbers and everything, Turpin was going to be kind of like that next guy to step up, because Pickens obviously is going to be incredibly valuable if you have him on your team. I think you have to, he goes from a guy that you were, probably starting based on a matchup. Now he's going to be in your lineups. Starting without hesitation. So I think Cavante Turpin kind of moves into that number 2 role. And obviously Ferguson, I know somebody mentioned that earlier. I think all those guys are going to see, an uptick in targets there with Dallas with CeeDee Lamb out.
Yep.
We got a Montgomery touchdown.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Yes. Yeah. His usage has been, a lot lower than I expected so far this year. So it's kind of nice to see him get his scoring.
Everyone was saying that going in, right? And I just didn't want to believe it, because I just love him so much.
I love him so much.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay, so
names.
So my wide receiver choice, I think we talked about him last week. We've talked about him kind of all off season too. Is Alec Iomanner? Or as my phone likes to correct it to, Epic Io Manor every single time I type it.
And why not?
Yeah. So he's only 29% rostered, so a little bit higher, but he's still going to be available. Right now, he's wide receiver 36. He hasn't had those huge breakout games quite yet, but fantasy-wise, the last 2 weeks, he scored 15.6 and 13.8 points. He's currently ranked higher than Calvin Ridley, who has not really been the guy so far for rookie quarterback Cam Ward. And, Io Manor is averaging 30% of the wide receiver targets and playing on 75% of snaps. And Tennessee plays the Texans this week. So could be a fun game.
It could be. Perhaps one other thing that would help Io Manor too is that Derek Stingley left last week's game early with a rib they're calling it a rib. I'm pretty sure it's actually oblique, because he hurt it in week 1 on the first play, the game against the Rams, or maybe it was the second play. I don't remember. He got bent back, and he definitely looked banged up, played last week, but didn't finish week 3. So if there's no Stingley, it's Kamari Lassiter, Tremont Smith, and Jalen Petrie are going to be the corners out there. So the more he can get on Tremont Smith, pretty good for Io Manor. So I like that one. And then I'll wrap up receivers really quick. Sterling Shepard, obviously with Mike Evans out. If you're worried about Chris Godwin coming back, I understand that. But I will say that in week 3, Shepard had 5.45 yards per route run on the perimeter. So I know he's kind of seen as a slot guy, but he can produce on the outside if needed. And Torrey Horton scored in back-to-back weeks. And I just think Cooper Kupp's at the twilight of his career, and I think it's about done, and Horton's the number 2 there for me. So deeper leagues, Sterling Shepard and Torrey Horton, I think you can get for a couple bucks.
We even mentioned Horton last week, so yeah, trying to get ahead of things. Tootsie Pop had a question here. Where are we on the panic meter for Calvin Ridley?
I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not. I just think somebody who's getting, as much time on the field as he is, and with as talented as he is too, I think it'll eventually, they'll get on the same page with him and Cam Ward, and I think it'll be fine by the end of the season. It's probably going to be, you're not going to like to look at it every week, but I think by the time the season's over, it'll even itself out.
Like a 4.2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Agreed.
On the Richter scale.
On the Richter scale.
Isn't that earthquakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not making earthquakes. Not quite yet.
Yeah.
It's more like a 1.2 on the Richter scale.
Yeah. I like that. We'll come up with a new name for like the scale of like the panic meter, like what that'll actually be for fantasy purposes. But let's talk tight ends, because I know there are about 5.5 minutes or just under 6 minutes left in the game as we're going through this. But tight ends, couple of big names here. I want to hear about Chigakonkwo. I know Hunter Henry had the big game, but he doesn't need any more press. We'll talk about him a bit. I want to hear about Chigakonkwo first, because we just talked about Io Manor and how he's going up against Texans defense. So I'm curious why we're looking at a Okonkwo here.
Yeah, so he's 30% rostered in Sleeper, 14.1 points this week. He went 5 for 66, or that was in week 1. Sorry, no, this was this week. Blah. 9.5 weeks in week 2. Tight end 7 going into Monday Night Football right now. 16 targets, 12 receptions on the season. I think he's building that chemistry with Ward as well. Colby, I'm so sorry, but they play Houston, right? In week 4, we already talked about that. Yeah. Houston is allowing 10.4 tight end points per game. And then they play Arizona, so they have a great matchup, and they are allowing even more fantasy points to opposing teams' tight ends at 13. So I think, if you're out there, you're looking for a replacement tight end, maybe some of your guys have gotten some injuries or they're just not producing. Maybe you waited and you kind of are just going to be streaming tight end. He's definitely one that can't be ignored.
Yep. I like Okonkwo too. And if you look on the year, actually leading the team in receiving yards, at least amongst receivers, tight ends. And 16.2% target share, 1.5 yards per route run. You could certainly do worse, but Hunter Henry's obviously going to be the big name. If he's available out there, everybody's going to be flocking to him. So I know Stacy, you wrote his name down. So what's the deal with Henry? And then let me throw it out there. How much fab are you going for Hunter Henry?
So he just made it in at 48.5% under that 50% threshold. Tight end 3 on the season. Love our old players. Love the old guys. I was big on him and Zach Ertz going into drafts this year. Is he going to put up the numbers that he put up this in week 3 every week? No, he's not going to get 2 touchdowns every single week. He may not get them again this season, but he is still averaging 13 PPR points per game, which is more than I have a whole list for you of. More than Justin Jefferson. It's more than CeeDee Lamb, Jamison Williams, DK Metcalf, Ted McMillan, and Mike Evans. Do I need to say any more there? If you can get a guy in your lineups who is averaging you 13 points per game, I think you're going to do it. He's obviously got a great connection there with Drake May. He seems to be the most consistent player on that offense right now. I know we are kind of like struggling with what are we doing with Diggs, Demario Douglas, Kyle Williams, all these other guys that we got kind of mixed in there. The running back situation is a hot mess over there, but who's not a hot mess? Hunter Henry. He is there as Drake May's safety blanket every single week. He was last year, and so far he's showing to be that he's going to be the most consistent, stable guy in that offense this year. I would be spending maybe 20% of my fab if you're a tight end premium. If you're in a tight end premium, if not, still 13 points is not nothing, right? So that's in just a standard PPR league. So in tight end premium, he's scoring you even more points. So I'd feel somewhere between 15 to 20%. I'd feel comfortable with.
Erika, are you in that ballpark for the bidding for Hunter Henry?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And
he's not guaranteed every week.
Sure.
Right.
But he's going to get you points.
Mm-hmm.
And young
He's
quarterbacks
going to average you probably more than your normal tight ends are going to be averaging. So,
like looking at tight ends in the red zone. So
Mhm.
that's a tale as true as time. So
Yep.
we'll see if we see that continue. I'll give you a deep league one. Watch the Chargers injury report this week. If Will Dissly is going to miss again, I don't know how they don't keep it going with Rondé Gadsden. He looked really good, led the Charger tight ends with no Will Dissly last week in routes run per team drop back, was actually heavily involved out of the slot. I'm wording this in a way that makes it sound better than it really is. He was the first read more than any other non-primary wide receiver for LA, which is a super fancy way to say he was the fourth target in the passing game, but it sounds a lot cooler to say it that way. But in week 3 of players with at least 15 routes run, his first down per route run was actually the 6th best. So he's going to make magic happen. If Will Dissly's going to miss again, and even if Dissly plays, I mean, at this point, why not see the youth? Let the athletic kid get out there. So Gadsden could be somebody that you're looking at, and he would only cost you maybe $1 or $2, to be honest. It's a super speculative deep league dart throw at tight end. So hopefully that helps you out for those tight end needy teams out there.
Yeah. I'm so glad you put him on here. I was hoping somebody would. After I had already picked like my guys, I was like, oh, I hope somebody talks about Rondé too.
Okay, so we're almost the 2-minute warning here at the game. They've stopped Derrick Henry twice so far on the goal line.
Won't be a third though.
No, we're just destroying people's families over here, just running through people like they're nothing.
I wonder if next week we'll be talking about Walker. He's getting a lot of looks lately. 2 touchdowns for the Ravens as well already on the season. I don't know any of his stats. But
and Hopkins is a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Bateman's locked in for a couple more years, though.
Bateman's been quiet so far this season.
Yeah, they don't have an out on Bateman until 2028. And Zay's been in the league for 2. I think this is year 3. Year 3. But he was a first rounder, so he's going to get the 5th-year option. So he's locked in too. So yeah, maybe he can step up to be the wide receiver 3 if Hopkins leaves after this year and tries to go to another team to start ring chasing. That's clearly what he's doing right now, which I respect it. I'm all for it. He needs one. He deserves one. So yeah. I'm all
he's
for
the Kevin Durant of the league.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but he doesn't have like 19 burners. He just tweets from his actual account.
Very true. Very true.
Well, before we go, let's do a fun round of would you rather, just lightning style. You know, I'm going to tell you 2 names, just pick one, and for rest of season. And this guy, we didn't really talk about this guy, but we definitely could have. Quentin Johnston or Trey Tucker. Colby.
Quentin Johnston. The answer is never Trey Tucker.
Erika.
Same. Trey Tucker is never going to get 3 touchdowns in a single game again.
No.
It's going to be a one-off look.
Yeah, as our friend Sean put it, that's points chasing. If don't go, blow your fab on Trey Tucker. Maybe a deep league dart throw, but calm down, everybody.
If you're in a best ball team that has waivers, go pick him up.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a great idea. Stafford or Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones.
I'll go Matt Stafford.
Ooh. I would just go Indiana Jones just because for health reasons. I'm a little worried that back is going to creep up and cause some problems for our boy Matty, but that's it. All right, here we go. I got a 3-headed monster for you: Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, or our boy Bill JCM.
I don't like him. I don't like any of it.
That was gonna be my answer. My answer was none. I don't even want to be involved.
No. I don't want a single part of a 3-headed timeshare for the running back position. Because each week you never know who's going to get the touches. You never know who's going to get that one-off touchdown. Don't even know who gets the passing work. I mean, it's all a crapshoot every single week. I don't want part of it.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Last one: Trey Benson or Quinshon Judkins. Ooh.
I'll go Benson.
Yeah.
I'm scared that a potential suspension. I don't fully know like the legal or legalities with Judkins, but there could be a suspension coming. I don't think Trey Benson's getting suspended. So Judkins has been really good though. Not to diminish that, like he's been phenomenal, but I think I'll go Benson.
Because they could still suspend him. He could end up on the commissioner's list or something like that, even though the criminal stuff kind of went away. But that still is definitely a possibility.
So if it came out there was no suspension for this year, which one would you go with, Colby?
Honestly, probably. That's where it gets tough. I mean, Judkins looks so. I don't like that he only caught one pass last week because game script probably isn't going to be great for Cleveland. Mm-hmm. I feel like it'd be weird of me to back on my take, so I'll stick with Benson.
Okay. Yeah.
I sound like I'm wavering if I'm like, well, if there wasn't a suspension, like, yeah, in a perfect world, I would just know the right answer and say it. But so I won't go on my take. I'll stick with it. I'll go with Benson.
I think you're right, though. I would go Benson, too, because, I mean, Arizona doesn't have – they have Amari DiMercado back there, but Dylan Sampson is still kind of lurking around. He's been great in the passing game. I don't think he goes away completely. So I think Benson has more of that, complete, timeshare there. Like, he's not going to have timeshare. It's not the right word.
And,
but he's
not going to Benson has 10 targets over the last 2 weeks, too. Like, that was one thing I was not expecting, to say the least. And then you look at Judkins since he's come back, and I mean, I guess he got 5 targets, which isn't terrible, but I mean, if Benson's going to get 15 plus carries and 4.5 targets per game, I'll take Benson for sure. Yeah. Better offense too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I know that was the opposite of rapid fire, so I apologize. But
no, I do that too. But I was like, we should. Dylan Sampson just popped into my brain. I was like, we got to say something about that.
Rapid fire goes into minutes long explanation.
I added this question in because I actually have these 2 players in a league, and I'm like, who do I start next week? I don't know.
You have to. You can't start both of them.
I think I also have another like RB1, like Jonathan Taylor, which I'm starting. Yeah,
you're starting Jonathan Taylor. Oh my god. Like, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Oh,
cry me a river, Erika. So sad. Oh, what am I gonna do? I've got Trey Benson and Quinshon Judkins. Oh no. We're all crying for you. Everyone over here is so sad that you have to make that decision. Guys, we are going into halftime here. It has been a blast hanging out with everybody tonight. Thank you all for your questions. Everybody hanging out in the chat, everybody watching online. We will be back next week for our waiver show. Again, Waiver Wire Watch Party kicks off at 8:00 right before Monday Night Football goes. Put your top ad, put your priority ad in the chat. I want to see what everybody else is thinking. Mine was Trey Benson. Colby, you're going with?
My top ad?
Yeah, top ad.
Top ad overall for all of you all out there. I'm going to go Chig Okonkwo.
Chig. Erika, who's your top ad?
Io Manor.
Iron Manor. There we go. All right, guys, you heard it here from us. Hopefully you get all of your waiver wire dreams come true. And we will, again, like I said, be back here next Monday night. Until then, have a great week, guys. We'll see you later.